So we are recording now, and we're entering, and we're about 5 minutes from our start. I'm really glad people were able to try and make it today, and I know this is a crazy week, so it's much appreciated. But it's a holiday next week, a real holiday maybe. Not like the last one.
If you don't live in Darebin, Hume, Casey, or some of the others too.
Yes. Do you guys live in any of those horrible Victorian hotspots?
I do, unfortunately. I'm in Darebin, so as long as I stay within my boundaries, that's my holiday.
Oh, still.
I'm not fussed. I'm in Darebin as well, but there's 4, and they're saying anything above 3 is considered, a hot spot, and there are so many with 3, and having one more than somewhere else, not fussed. We'll be right.
Yeah. I think it'll. I'm hoping it looks like just a little blip. And because we're doing so well, we're fussing over like 4 or 5 cases when the rest of the world is,
hundreds of thousands.
Dire numbers, yeah. So we're kind of lucky little chickens, really.
Yeah.
So welcome, and we'll make a start right on the hour because I know a number of people have said that they need to get away early. School's closed, or they've got meetings they've got to get to. Some people are coming a little late because they had parent-teacher interviews over video conference this afternoon. So, it's a crazy time. And we'll honour your time by starting on time and letting those people who've already expressed that they'll need to leave early start the session. I'm glad so many of you were able to try and make it today, which is fantastic. And we'll start in 3 minutes. So relax. I can hear a printer or something going there. If you're not speaking at the moment, you might want to just mute, just so we have a little less interference in the session. Saying that, I'm sitting here, my dogs are asleep at the moment. Hopefully they don't wake and start barking, but I'll apologise in advance if they do. They kind of get it in their heads that I'm doing something and not paying attention to them, and so barking may happen. But I think I've been in so many teleconferences recently where someone's dog barked or their child vomited or loads of funny things happened. I'm sure you've got some tales to tell. And Lauren's with us. Hi, Lauren.
Good afternoon. Nice to see everyone.
Yeah. We have a few people coming later and some more people coming on time and some people who have to leave early. A couple of people whose schools close at 4:30 and so they have to be out of the school. So we'll try and accommodate everyone in the time frames that they need. And we are recording the session so that we can share it and we can update those of our colleagues who weren't able to be here. I do have a few apologies from people who had parent-teacher meetings or school meetings, and so there are a number who were not able to join us. But that's okay, that's life. And this is a busy week, so we have Alicia just joining us now. Great stuff. And we will start in 1 minute. Let me just share my screen and get the PowerPoint up. It's a very short opening for us today and then straight into everybody doing their updates because I know we have people who need to get away quickly. So let me see why my PowerPoint's not up. Why is it not sharing that one? just pulling up my. No, I don't want to share that. Why is my... It's always something. No, that's not the PowerPoint I want to share. For some reason, it's gone off sharing the wrong screen. I'll have to get that fixed. Hold on. And I'm not accessing the screen I do want to share, so I'm not sure what that's doing. I have the PowerPoint open. I'm a bit of a fail there. But anyway, we'll see what we can get happening. All right, we are past the hour, so let's make a start. I do need to kill this PowerPoint now and stop sharing because I don't want that one shared. And for some reason, Teams is not seeing the PowerPoint that I had, but it doesn't really matter. It's really just some pretty things to say. Welcome to our celebration, and to say that on this very day, 4 months ago, we started this project. So while I know a lot of people have spent time apologising to me about, you know, how little they feel they might have accomplished on their Minecraft trajectory, we have only been at this for 4 months. So that, I know it feels like a long time because so much else has happened in that time, but it has only been 4 months. So we very much understand with all the interceding issues that have come in that you've had a lot on your plates. And so today what we wanted to do is share the knowledge that we have in the group and to look at where we go from here. And so I've made a list of the people who raised their hand to share, and I've got them in an order that I think accommodates the people who asked to go early. And so I have Nathan, Darren, Alicia and Kirsty who all said they needed to start early. Is there anyone else who wanted to be in that early group who needed to be before 4:30?
Yeah, I've got to be out of my school by 4:30. Sorry, Bron.
That's Michael?
Yes.
Okay, Michael, so I'll move you up. So I'm just changing my running order here. It's in a slide, but I can't seem to show it for some reason. Teams is not being obliging. So, okay, so that's the order then we'll go with.
Excuse me, Brian, I emailed you earlier today about me needing to get my son to an appointment by 5.
Yes. Adrian, and so yeah, so I'll make. Is it okay if I add you after Michael? What time do you need to get away?
Yeah, look, I'll probably 4:30, depending on how long people speak.
Okay, I don't think we're going to be, you know, spending a long time on each group, but I just thought it was worthwhile for people to update. I know that a lot of you feel like you haven't done very much, and then you talk to me and I go, oh, wow, you know, this is really exciting. So we wanted to take this opportunity to work through that. So if we start with, we had Nathan and David who were going to give us an update first. Are you both here, or one of you here to lead the charge?
I'm here.
I'm here too. Nathan's going to take it away though.
Okay. Well, last year we pretty much introduced it, and the first thing, it was pretty much just a standalone project that I came up with, assessing the digital curriculum. We were introduced to the Mini Melbourne resource by David in a thing that we've got here, the e-learning team, where there's a representative from every year level attending and kind of sharing various resources and getting some updates from David. Then within that Mini Melbourne resource, there was a list of suggested or possible activities that you could transform into Minecraft projects. Did kind of give my class, because my class was kind of the guinea pig class, the opportunity to have a look at them all. We went through all, I think there were 12 options. One of them was revamp Melbourne, and we kind of liked that. Then we, when that was voted on by the class, I went away and put together the Mini Melbourne revamp project that I put on the forum. That was pretty much to start off with in groups. They would navigate around as visitors in the map, so they couldn't break any blocks, they couldn't change anything. Then find a location, maybe even match it to Google Maps, have the two running side by side, find a location that they would want to improve. The good thing is in that map there are 3 construction sites already there, so they were kind of ripe for the picking for groups to not have to put in their proposal to the government what they were demolishing, that the other members of the class who were like the citizens of the council, for example, that could oppose even, wouldn't have anything to say. Like, you're not getting rid of a building that's already there that could already have a purpose. So those groups are kind of lucky. After their proposal was approved, they began construction. We had it for assessment, a rubric assessing, I think, 5 areas or 5 descriptors, and giving everything, you know, a very high to a very not so high, kind of a 5-point scale for everything. So out of 25 overall. So some of the things constructed were very creative. Along the Yarra River, for example, had some leisure services, updating the rowing clubs and things like that, for example, to make Melbourne a bit more fun along the river. The other thing that I did to begin with in a team that wasn't so comfortable with Minecraft, I put together a guide that's also included on that forum, where the map limits were. So I actually went into Google Maps myself, walked around for a bit, saw where I could walk up to. So it was like Lonsdale Street to the north, however wide and however far south and so on. So I mapped it out so teachers knew not to say to someone, oh, you can go all the way to the MCG when you can't. So we had some great success with that. I had got some real good information or data to be able to assess students on their creating digital solutions, primarily that part of the digital curriculum. And now this year, as part of our Discovering Democracy unit, which we were obviously doing online in remote learning, for the last kind of 4 weeks of that unit, after the kids had learnt all about democracy, we had, I'd found, because I've lately become a big fan of project-based learning, I'd found a create your own country project, which they could make their own flag, country name, capital, all the features of a real country, including a working government of a government style of their choice as well. It could be a monarchy, it didn't have to be a democracy. And introduced, upon our return to school, I quickly put together the Minecraft component, which was to design your government building. So for example, if someone designed, we started off in maths on grid paper, putting together, for example, if you were a monarchy, you could build a castle and the country's most famous landmark, so an equivalent of an Eiffel Tower or a landmark. So they could, so they're about to finish that tomorrow in my class, and then we're going to do a bit of a gallery walk amongst the grades to see what everyone's monuments and buildings look like in a 3D sense rather than just imagined on paper or drawn. So it'll be good to see what everyone comes up with. And there's also a rubric that we're assessing some key skills in connection to the unit as a whole and the project of making your own country.
Well, that's awesome. And I know Nathan has shared, though, all the resources for that in the team space, in the lesson planning space. And so you can follow up and have a look at that and give feedback, because that's part of what our community is about, is giving feedback. Give some attaboys or some suggestions and ideas. A couple of things I love about what you did, Nathan, asking the kids which thing they wanted to do out of the mini Melbourne possible projects. That level of agency is really nice, and Minecraft affords that really well. And I love that you tied the actual Google Maps to the Minecraft, so it makes that authenticity of the space, gives them that link to the physical world. So there's a few really cool things about what you're doing, but I can imagine how exciting your walkthroughs are going to be tomorrow and later in the week.
Yep.
Absolutely wonderful.
Thank
Did David have anything to add?
David?
He might be muted. Perhaps not. I'm going to jump on just because we're mindful of people's time. But thank you, Nathan. Seems like lots of good happening there at Eltham East Primary School.
Yep.
Wonderful. Darren and Tim from Newbury.
Yes, hi there. Tim's not here today, so I'll be speaking just on behalf of him.
I just included him.
Yeah, of course, yeah, for sure. So mine is nowhere near as deep as what Nathan was explaining. So we've really just been introduced to Minecraft. So the remainder of the term after remote and flexible learning, we just really wanted to explore Minecraft, explore its limitations, just so in term 3 we knew what we were able to do. We've found out that we can't have any more than 30 people in a one world. So that's had an impact on some decisions moving forward into term 3. So just throughout the exploration phase, I did that small activity where I got the students to create a portal. And I found out very quickly that they pretty much all knew how to do a portal very easily and very well. So I've learned quite a lot of the kids. And we've also just set a few challenges. So I had the kids, I had my whole class inside my world, and I set the challenge who can build their best home or their best house. And before we knew it, we're kind of at a town, built in my world. And so every day they're just adding on to that. Some students have built farms. Some have built these amazing houses. It was funny. I had to go to attend to a student outside for something else, and by the time I got back, a student had built a house around me, and I didn't know where I was. So I got back to my computer, and I'm like, all right, what have you done to me? And I found out that they built a house around me, and I was like, oh, thank you. So yeah, also through that, I did have to go through the expectations. I was unaware that people could destroy other people's, creations, or they could blow up, animals of TNT and do all that stuff. So we've really gone, deep into our expectations. But moving forward, in term 3, for inquiry, it's about our world. And year 4s are focusing on famous Australian landmarks and how they are connected to countries around the world, and how there's that deep connection. So we're going to provide that student voice and agency if they want to use Minecraft. whatever they find out, you know, through that inquiry, that they'll be able to build in there. And you know, there'll be options where they'll be able to provide a guided tour, for example, of Uluru. They can have you know, like in that how to play, how you go and speak to a person. So I'm not sure whether they can do that in there as well, and the speech bubble comes up with information. So they can create banners if they wish. So yeah, look, we're leaving it open, and we still are exploring what we can and can't do. For maths, we're going to implement measurements, so length, area, maybe have scales and the key legends, mapping, directions. So I mean, there is a lot to use. Yeah, it's going to be good. So yeah, that's my story.
Oh no, that's fabulous. It's certainly not you were apologising for not having done much, but you've done a lot.
No, yeah.
It's a really good plan to spend term 2 looking at the you know, the edges of what you want to do and establishing you know, the ethics that you want the kids to follow. So those expectations and class rules and all that. So yeah, I think you'll hit the ground running in term 3 now that you've done all that preparatory work in this term. So bravo.
Thank you. No, it's good. I was actually excited to hear that you can actually teleport a student if they are misbehaving to where you are, and they have to stay with you until you can kick them out again. So
yes, the classroom mode's pretty powerful for some really good things like
yeah,
that.
it's good. No, it's good. Thank you.
So thanks, Darren, and we know that Tim wasn't able to be with you and sent his apologies. So Darren was updating us for the school for Newbury. So thanks so much, Alicia.
Okay, so yeah, where I'm at in terms of, so I'm the STEM teacher at our school, and I didn't realise I had a background, but that's okay. We'll go with it. So last year I started using Minecraft in our STEM classes and tied it together with our year 4s going on their urban camp into the city, and a number of the children weren't able to go. So I wanted to sort of give the opportunity for a bit of tying in with using Mini Melbourne in that sense, and getting them familiar with the city before they went in. And those that couldn't go obviously had the chance to sort of explore in that virtual world. And then we started to tie in some mapping and choosing a specific area, similar to what was said before, choosing a specific area in Google Maps, and then having to sort of understand how we're navigating the streets and making our way to the same landmark. And so some different things where I posed a photo and they had to find the same viewpoint from their character standing in Minecraft as where I was when I took the photo in the city. And so that's kind of where it started last year for me. So this year I didn't really get much done before we went remote, but when we were working at home, I took the opportunity to provide some time for some of our year 6 students to log in. So I just opened it up to all the year 6 and said, I'll be in this world at this time. Here's our join code. Come in and join if you can. And so each week I was able to get sort of 10 to 15 children that were able to get in. And it was crazy to sort of see what they were able to come up with in terms of, I just had chosen a bit of a world, I can't remember what it was called, but and sort of just let them do what they wanted. And to see some of the students, like they went off together in their little groups and digging in under trees and all this crazy stuff with their little secret lairs that they built, and then they'd call me over then I'd follow them in and see what's going on over there, and just to see that creativity and also that collaboration that they just organically created, just like without any direction. They were able to sort of get that happening and work together to do that was really good, and to build that sort of sense of community while they were at home at that time. So in terms of where I'm going now, that home time kind of showed me that while some students are really knowledgeable and really comfortable using aspects of Minecraft, some of the questions I was getting from the children who weren't able to get in showed me, that the levels across the class were quite broad, and so I've sort of spent some time now that we're back just giving some different opportunities for those who need to get a bit more comfortable in the Minecraft world to have that time, and then while the others can sort of just extend themselves. And then I'm hoping to tie it into a bit of their sustainability work next term, and look at how we can work that into what they're doing in class.
Well, that's fantastic. I love that you were able to provide that sociability for the kids while they were so separated. And I know a lot of people in this group tried to do that. There were some technical difficulties with some of that, but that's really great. And interesting that where Darren was looking at finding the edges of the program, you're looking at finding the edges of the skill sets of the kids. And that's a really interesting needs analysis that we have to do, because not everybody comes massively skilled or massively experienced with Minecraft.
Yeah, so I was kind of wanting to just have them all at some sort of base level, so then we can move beyond using Minecraft, working within Minecraft to actually what can we create with just using it as our tool that we've already got the skills for.
Okay, well, that's brilliant. It sounds like you're going to have an exciting term 3 as well.
Hopefully.
But I love the idea, and I know a number of you did that, to have just some fun social experience over remote connections with Minecraft. It was a good chance to see some of the kids having fun and engaging together. And as you said, building community while they were still so separate. Bravo. Thank you. And Kirsty from Wallen Primary School has to also get away early, so let's jump over to hearing from Kirsty.
Hiya. So I'm the specialist digitech teacher at Wallen. So my main focus for the Minecraft is the kind of coding things that I can tie in with the digital technologies curriculum. So I thought I'd try out the Hour of Code activities that Ron spoke about a couple of weeks back, and I've done that with my grade 6s this week. And what I really loved about it was it's kind of a world with 9 different coding challenges in the world, but they're differentiated. So there are some super easy ones, and then some that require a bit more complex coding. And so while the kids were exploring, and it's like just really fun, you walk up to the non-playing characters and they give you an instruction, and then you press go. And what I loved about it was it only gives you the code blocks that you need. So they're not so overwhelmed with all these different blocks and which ones do I choose. It just gives you the blocks that you need. And then while the kids were working and exploring, I was able to call groups, like differentiated groups, to the floor to work with me on a project that I'd chosen to suit their needs. And we worked together on the board. We had some really good discussions about the logic behind it and what do you need to do first. And they were skipping ahead to the 3rd step before they'd actually got their little agent into the challenge. So that was really good. I'm going to continue doing that to kind of build up the basic coding skills next term before we start a build challenge, building with our agent later in the term. And then at the end of term 1, we did a PD. It was myself and maybe 4 or 5 others with Bron on the interactivity side of things. And I was thinking I'm going to use that with my grade 5s next term with an e-learn, an e-safety focus. And so a bit of front loading, first of all, with e-safety, and then the kids are going to create like a labyrinth maze, and they're going to put their own non-playing characters in, and each one will have a different scenario of something that's happened to them. And then the students who are interacting with it will have to give them advice. So with, it would say, for example, I've had someone contact me on Instagram and I don't know who they are. What should I do? And there'll be some buttons at the bottom that says you should talk to them, or you should report this to an adult, or you should close the app, or something like that. And then the kids have to choose the correct answer. And if they get it correct, it will give them the tool that they need to get through to the next part of the maze, so like a diamond sword or pickaxe, or something that they need to get through the door to the next part of the maze. So I told them about it this week, and they're very excited to do that. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that both of those, doing the coding and using the agents, because it really steps up beyond just building Minecraft and makes it a truly interactive space. So that's fabulous, and we look forward to hearing more about that. I love the mazes. I love mazes, so I think that they're a really fun thing to do, and that's a great way to give a reward for something on the topic of e-safety. Yeah, fabulous. Thank you. That's wonderful. And Kirsty was in the sessions we had earlier. Kirsty's a great resource because she's did some Minecraft last year, exploratory, and really honed her own skills. And in the sessions we've had, she's been a great resource and support because she's got that extra experience and knowledge. So down the track, if you want to do any of the coding or interactivity, Kirsty might be a good person to talk to as well. Hope you don't mind me giving a plug.
Oh, not at all.
Absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much. Moving on, mindful of the people. Michael or Adrian, which of you needs to get away most urgently?
I won't be quick. I won't be quick. Yeah, I'll settle in. I'll be short. Well, firstly, thank you, Bron. Quite admirable and stoic, keep calm, carry on approach you've taken to this, and you've kept the train running, which I know from our end, our train, well, I'm sure from many ends, derailed slightly when it came to Minecraft. But look, I think what we've taken away most from this is, one, being in a community of like-minded people has been very invaluable, but was the side of it we wanted to know was that planning side of it. So those planning documents. So we've really ran with your started to run with your planning document, and we're trying to embed that into our planning days. So definitely having a representative in each level that can start to think laterally of where you can incorporate Minecraft, and not just within inquiry. We started in a process of, well, let's try to do it with literacy. And so the one that we've built, and I've just put it up in the team space, was really trying to create a literacy resource where it's about adjectives and creating descriptively rich worlds, and having that visual aspect of the kids being able to create worlds and then collaboratively describe these worlds and work on their writing in that respect to up-level, I guess, their settings and how they describe their settings. And we've really gone from there. We're not far on. It didn't work for us in ISO, and since we've come back, the big push through our school has been as minimal digital time as possible. So, but really looking to term 3 and beyond, definitely from an inquiry standpoint, the links there are endless. But really also trying to come up with some of those numeracy and literacy ones as well, so we can really give that, I guess, multiple exposures to the same learning for all our children. Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. What I love about what's happening at Banyule is that it's a real team approach. And I think when we looked at the expressions of interest from a lot of the principals and lead teachers in schools for this project, people were interested in spreading the base of knowledge, so that we were moving beyond the kind of Lone Ranger teacher using Minecraft in their school to something that was actually implemented across years and stages. And I know that's the approach that you guys are taking there, and it's a measured approach, really laying it down inside the curriculum. And so I really want to praise that. I know from when I was at your school, I was in awe of the work you guys have been putting in towards the planning process. So that's no small feat, and certainly nothing you need to apologise for. And, derailing in COVID, I think, is totally fine. And I can understand why people are going, oh, let's not do anything digital for the last few weeks of school, having Zoomed or WebExed or Teamed out of their brains. It's really nice to be sociable and physically together. So, and I look forward to what you're planning to do in the next term. Yeah. So
thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks to the Banyule team. And Adrian, Morwell Park.
Yeah, collectively as a staff and probably as a student group haven't had much to do with Minecraft EE at all. So that's why Marley and I, who's a grade 5 teacher, expressed a really keen interest to be involved, and lucky enough we were invited to participate. So Marley being the grade 5 teacher, we're going to use her group as guinea pigs pretty much, and we've got a fair bit ready for term 3. The first thing I wanted to do though was just to familiarise the teachers with Minecraft, because they had never even seen it or even been into a world. So I ran them through the tutorial. They had a lot of fun. And then we thought, well, how can we incorporate this into regular weekly sort of sessions for term 3? And they're doing a physics science unit on bridge building. So I thought, well, perfect opportunity to tie that in. So we've structured it up so that myself and one of the other teachers will take the Minecraft component, half the kids, which is 25, and the other 25 will go and do the physical bridge building with isopole sticks and paper and glue and all that sort of stuff, whilst learning about the different types of bridges and what they're used for. So I got my son on board at home and said, well, we need to come up with a bit of a world, because he can build stuff probably 10 times quicker than I can, an avid Minecrafter. And I think, yeah, as we all know, you learn more from kids than we're probably going to teach them. So he showed me the ropes, and we built a sort of it's very prescriptive for the students. It's a world which is got a probably 5 or 6 bridge building challenges. So they start inside a home, they all spawn into this house, and they need to get across the creek to their friend's house just to visit their friend. So that'll just be a basic bridge that they need to build. From there, they need to then get to the shops, from their friend's house to the shops. But the challenge for them is that you need to be able to get to the shops rain, hail or shine, so that the bridge is going to need shelter, and it's also going to need to be lit. Once they've mastered that one, they then follow a path which takes them to a herd of sheep in a very small paddock, which is near a lake with people rowing boats and that sort of stuff on the lake. So they need to build an arch bridge to get to the other side where the paddock is larger and get the sheep across to that paddock so that they're happier in the large paddock. They continue on, and then they have a school of the air. So there's 5 classrooms up in trees, and they need to build bridges that connect all the classrooms. They also need to work out a way to get up to there, because they're going to be told that they can't just fly up to the classroom. So they're going to have to investigate ways to get up there using ladders. They're going to have to work out a way to get into each of the classrooms and then build the air bridges connecting them up. Finally, they get to a big chasm where there's a secret village on the other side, and they need to build probably a suspension bridge, I'm hoping, because through all of the learning over the period of the 8 weeks or so that it will take them to get to this part of the bridge building challenge, I'm hoping they learn that really for a massive 100-metre gorge, you need a suspension bridge. So we're hoping they'll be able to build that as the final bridge, gets them to the mystery world, and they can explore that. So that's sort of the whole plan. I overplanned, because when the grade 5 teachers actually went into the bridge building world, having done the tutorial, they said, this is 2 or 3 terms of work, Adrian. So here I was thinking, I hope these kids don't just get through it in 1 or 2 sessions, but we're thinking there's no way they will. The grade 6s are now keen to come on board, and they've hit me with the Harry Potter challenge. So I'm trying to come up with something that might tie in with their literacy theme, which is all based around Harry Potter. My job over the holidays is to re-watch Harry Potter films and go from there. But it's exciting, and we're really keen.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm really impressed. I love the combination of your son's building skills and your curriculum design skills, building this world with the challenges in it for the students. So part of what I love about Minecraft is it kind of unleashes teacher creativity.
Yes.
Sounds like you've had a lot of fun designing those challenges for the kids to complete. I want to play that.
Yeah, it's on the forum, so
yeah,
if you get the chance.
I haven't had a chance to get in yet, but I'm dying to now. You've described it for
Well,
us.
it was interesting. The teachers didn't want to stop. We set aside an hour, and after an hour and a half, oh no, but I want to do the next one. So I'm hoping the kids will be the same. It was a good sign.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we haven't even thought about evaluation at this stage. It's really just introducing Minecraft in a way that's fun and getting everyone involved.
If I can imagine the discourse that's going on, the discussion that's going on through that building process and the language the kids are adopting about bridge building that will demonstrate the science they understand, I can imagine there's a huge amount going on there just in observations and reflections that will.
We hope so.
That will be great assessment. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing how that goes.
Thank you. I've got to go. So,
yeah, thanks, Adrian. I'm glad you could drop in. Yeah, I know it's tough times.
No, happy to be involved.
All right. Thank you so much and happy holidays.
Yes, to everyone. See you soon.
Thanks. I have Julie Snowden down as next, but if there's someone else who has to get away early, you can let me know.
Actually, Bron, I do. Likewise, I've got to take my daughter to a doctor's appointment. Is it okay if Anastasia and I go now?
Yes, Joel, that's fine.
Sorry to jump in.
I don't think Julie minds. Do you, Julie?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you, Julie.
That's a pleasure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Who wants to go first, Anastasia?
Oh, I know. Well, I've got a little bit of a list. Maybe, do you want me to head through the list and you can kind of jump in? We're good at team teaching by day. So, well, the first thing I guess we did was started with playing. So Joel and I thought that was really important. And a lot of the activities we used, we based around the a lot of the things we found at the PLs and the one more recent one with Bron when she came out to the school. I've forgotten you'll be able to help me, Joel, because we're sort of working remotely at the minute. What was the one which I really liked about it's kind of like our smile focus.
The mindful night. We did the
mindful night. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So we tried the mindful night, creating a dream bedroom. And that was just, the point of that was just to ascertain where the kids were at, who we kind of needed to keep note of. We were still currently in the classroom, so that was all helpful. We actually gave them a survey, which we want to come back to and see if there was some improvement and just say, what do you already know about Minecraft? What do you want to learn? And that sort of thing. Did you want to add anything, Joel? To that
No, yeah. So we just kind of, like a few people have mentioned, we just wanted to get a gauge of where the kids are at and bring up that uniform skill level, because I guess we had big plans for what was coming in the second term. Before we knew that we were going to be remote, we had big plans. Can we do a jump to?
Yeah, and then remote hit us.
Yeah.
We had a few activities there, didn't we, Joel, that like required kids to showcase their learning, and they didn't have to do it via Minecraft. So one example would be, which I showed the group, I think already, like reflect on an Anzac Day story. We'd give them lots of links while they were remote, read up of some soldiers' stories, and then reflect on them in any way. Like it could be a picture, a poem, or a Minecraft world, and that was interesting. Kids made some like cemeteries with sort of plaques for individual soldiers from the stories, which was really, really fabulous. Was there anything else there, Joel?
No, I think the next big thing was at the beginning of term 2 when we weren't able to see each other. We used Minecraft as a couple of people have already mentioned, as a social get together. We hit a few technical problems to begin with, but I think it was in the first couple of weeks we used it twice, and that was really good just to get the kids together so they could see each other. But other than that, and then we used it again towards the end of the term, just once a week, a couple of times a week, so that they could actually see each other. And they were making it it was like little play dates. They were making arrangements to meet up with each other. And then there was, I'll move on, Anastasia, because I got to go in like 3 minutes. There was a big thing for the term was really our unit was based around a significant moment in Australian history, and we presented the children with, I think, half a dozen different options, choices that they could do. And what they needed to do was they created a representation of that, sort of like a museum piece or a walk, sort of like Sovereign Hill, where they would use NPCs as tour guides, and they would present their information and rebuild that historical moment inside Minecraft. So we had Peter Layla addressing a crowd, standing on top of a tree stump, a lot of gold mines, recreations of the Endeavour, kind of, yeah. So they did their research and then built their understanding into a Minecraft world. And then the idea was that another person will come along and play through their world. So hopefully we get to do that, if not by the end of this week, then probably in the first couple of weeks of next term. But yeah, they've made video walkthroughs now, haven't they? And we've got them uploaded.
Yeah, I'll pop one of those onto the team space, because we're in the middle of that. We've got some high flyers already uploaded, so we can just put one of those in to the team space. Just a video walkthrough of their world. So apart from all the literacy videos we did remotely, just the research, the writing, scripts, the kids had Joel made some great how-to videos for Minecraft, which was really good for those kids keen to get on and do their Minecraft world but not knowing how to put an NPC in and so on. So those were really great. And then and really important being sort of in a remote capacity as well. And then we had our rubric that helped with continual reflection. So we had all this prepared because we actually thought we'd be teaching in the classroom, but then we just reformulated what we'd prepared to sort of work remotely. And I don't know, we struck it lucky. I just feel like we had them all logged into Minecraft. We had the rubric and the idea there. We just rolled with it, and it actually was quite successful. We're just following up now, trying to help the ones that were a bit stuck in some areas of the task, and yeah, just helping them get through the video walkthroughs this week. And so we just want peer and self-assessments as well, basing that around the rubrics that we started the task with. So that's basically it. I feel like we're pretty happy, Joel, aren't we? We're pretty.
Yeah, it's panned out really nicely, and they were when they all came back to school, they'd already been working on their Minecraft worlds, and they were just dead keen to show us. You had to usher them out at lunchtime and recess because they wanted to hang back and talk about, oh, look, I found out about this one person, and so I've included them in my Minecraft world. And so, yeah, the little extra bits of research that they were doing.
Yeah, pretty happy parents. I think that they kept them very busy. Yeah, the remote learning, some aspects, I guess, weren't as exciting. So the Minecraft was actually a brilliant aspect to our remote learning. So, yeah, that's about it, Bron.
I have to say two things. I sat in, Anastasia invited me to one of her children in his early build. I'm doing a little show off of what he'd done, a flyover of what he'd prepared in his world. And he was so chuffed and excited about what he was doing. So that was really lovely to see that in your remote teaching. And the other thing I have to tell you, Anastasia, your student with the Gallipoli, the one that commented about the how she realised once she built the cliffs of Gallipoli, she realised how enormous the challenge was for the soldiers who had to scale those cliffs to fight a battle. I told that to a group of international teachers on an online conference this morning, and I was saying this is my gold standard of teaching, when you have such a wonderful aha from your kids about a piece of history that they feel like they've now really been intimate with.
Yes.
It was fantastic. So you guys have kept it bubbling along throughout a really trying period. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was just, I think I sent you that email at like 10 at night because I was assessing the work online, and it came really as a shock. We've all had those moments in teaching when you go, oh, I think I might just let them showcase their learning on Minecraft. It was just an extra little thing that I added at the end of the task. And I had never imagined that it would the kid would take it to that level. It's pretty amazing when you get students working.
And a number of you have mentioned it's great to have Minecraft as an option. You know,
Yeah.
if you're doing a presentation of your research work, well, Minecraft's a viable option for those kids who would like to experiment with that. So, you know, that's a really great way to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what Joel's like. Joel's our IT specialist across the school, and he's really keen in skilling them up so that we can get them to year 5 and 6 and go, oh, well, now I want to use coding or Minecraft or something different, like where the students will actually come to a point where they can choose whatever, whatever, you know, gets there.
And they're so experienced with it, they can just jump in and realise what they want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So, no, it's been really good.
Thank you. That's fantastic. And great teamwork there, guys. And Joel, have a great holiday if you haven't already had to run away.
No, thank you. Bye.
So thanks for that. Julie.
Yeah, hi, Bronwyn. How are you? Hi, everyone else.
I'm great.
That's good. Look, it's a little bit different from me because we are in a secondary school, so that's quite different to everyone else for a start. We certainly have very much a bit of a Lone Ranger approach to things, and that's not because we don't like each other. That's because everyone teaches different subjects and different year levels, and you have breaks at different times, and so collaboration's really a bit different. But this semester I had a Year 7 digital technologies class, and so we started off the Minecraft in there, and I found out very, very quickly that all the kids were quite competent when it came to Minecraft in terms of building things, blowing things up and destroying each other's assets. But when we did the Mindful Night, I learnt very, very quickly that they still were not very good at following instructions inside a world. So that was quite interesting, but we got through the Mindful Night, and a group of kids from my class will be introducing the Mindful Night to our wellbeing team in the hope that they might take it up and use it across the school when they do their mindfulness in their assemblies classes. So our approach is a little bit different. All the Year 7s completed the coding activities, the 3 courses and the additional activities as well, and they've just completed creating their ideal school, and within that they had to involve agents with some coding and stuff like that. So they're going to do their presentations of that tomorrow. Then next semester I don't teach Year 7 again, so next semester I've got a Year 10 digital technologies class, and they're actually interested in using Minecraft to create lessons for Year 7s. So that's going to be a slightly different focus that we'll have there. And I'll also have a Year 10 business and economics class, specialty class, and they too are interested in using Minecraft for some of the economic concepts. And so our role will be more in getting the kids actively developing worlds and lessons for younger people, rather than following what's there. So yeah, it is a very different approach, but it's been working really well. The Year 7s have loved it. They've been really, really engaged. They're really enjoying it. And because they're that little bit older, and we'd already done Python coding with them, they found coding activities within Minecraft. They were able to catch on to those pretty quickly and pretty easily. So even the Year 7s, by the time they do their next lessons of digital technology, which unfortunately isn't until Year 9 in secondary school, they should be able to hit the ground running. And I'm hoping that it'll remain active within the school in lots of different areas, but with a focus of creating for others rather than just being users.
That's fantastic, Julie. I know you were in one of the sessions where we had another teacher in New South Wales who's looking at business studies developments for Minecraft. So that could be a conversation we could start somewhere on business studies in the secondary and Minecraft. But I wanted to point out a colleague of mine did a project where he got senior students to design worlds for more junior students. And they did it as a client project where they had a team and they went to the teacher and said, can we design a world for you? What do you want? And they were like the design team working for the teachers as a client. and they designed the world for that teacher, and challenges and things inside that world to the teacher's plans, but the kids did all the creative work on it. The interesting thing about that is when kids have invested so much into the design and gift it to a teacher, they'd have to be pretty bad to not want to use it. And so it's a really nice way to kind of infect other teachers in the school into using Minecraft.
Yep. Well, hopefully that's how we'll move forward from here.
Yeah, I think that might be what you were thinking. Because having a project team and working with a client is a really good experience for kids of that age as well.
Thank you.
Well, fantastic. And I know Julie and Lynn Telfer is still on the case about getting a secondary event happening, whether that's online or face-to-face, where we can really hammer out some ideas and give your school a little bit of kudos for the work that you've been doing, and hopefully, infect some more. I keep saying infecting. I shouldn't say that while we're in a virus period, but it is kind of like just sowing the seeds of ideas for teachers who haven't yet come to Minecraft. So thanks for that. That all sounds very exciting. I'm really interested to hear how all of that goes for the kids in term.
We'll keep in touch.
In the term coming, yeah. And certainly share anything out of that you want in the team space. That would be wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so Danielle and Chloe.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
We are sort of very similar to a few other schools where we really hit the ground running in the last 2.5 weeks since we've been back. Though during remote learning, they did a lot of
pixel art type of thing. Designing things. We got them to create or design a portal, so we chose that activity.
And then they have built them, but coming back to school, we then looked at like the requirements of a portal and how high and how wide, and they've started labeling their grid things with all the materials that they would need. Like they know a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
And they have made them in Minecraft this week, so we've finally had our first play and explore. They're very excited about it. Every morning they ask, when are we doing Minecraft?
But yeah, during remote learning, we did do also a lot of hour of code, so which they loved. They just loved the coding. It was very, very engaging for them.
Yeah, and we're looking at now. We are doing sustainability this term, but of course with remote learning, it's been really hard. But this last few weeks, we've been looking at ecosystems and how we can sustain them for plants and animals. So we are hoping to, in the next 2 days, get them on and create their own ecosystems in Minecraft, which I think they will be able to do. Like, I wasn't as confident in their abilities as I should have been, because they can certainly, they ask me questions and I have no idea how to answer them. They're really, really good at it.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, I think I will be learning a lot from them next term.
Yeah.
They have really good ideas, and like other people have said, you can hear the discussion of like the topic, not so much Minecraft going on when they're doing it. So yeah, with their sustainable ecosystem, they'll look at materials and things that are sustainable to use, and yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't done any of the like going into each other's world. So
No.
I think that's something, as people were sharing, we've sort of gone, oh, well, we could do this and this for next term perhaps. So it's already triggered some, ideas of what we can do next term as well.
Yeah, we're looking at social justice a little bit next term, and like disabilities and inclusion. So we'll have a think about how we can incorporate that or Minecraft into that. Maybe, I don't know, some type of inclusive, happy world for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot you can do. I mean, I know, inclusive in terms of building. There's a lot of inclusive things that you can have, but there's I think there's a unit on the Minecraft space about building a Zen garden, like those sort of things. Having just come out of COVID, everybody kind of wants that Zen place, don't they? So yeah, there's lots there. Certainly if there's any topics any of you guys are dealing with and you want to shoot a question to me, I may know of something that I can point you to that might help with the topic you're working on. But that sounds really great. It sounds like the kids have had kept bubbling along through it, even though the time's tedious, and they're getting into things now, so that they'll really hit the ground running in term 3.
They've been really good. With like some of the barriers, it's the same as everyone, obviously COVID, but our ICT and internet issues at school, and kids haven't been able to log in, and but they're fine. Like they've been good at sharing devices and stuff like that. But
they've been actually really great at helping each other.
Yeah.
I've been super impressed. So it's really nice because if that already feels inclusive. So
yeah, that's great. That's really good. And certainly next term looks exciting. And getting into multiplayer worlds will be a really great space for the age group you're teaching. They'll love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Exciting. I'm having such a lovely time hearing everyone's work. It's really great. Julie Powell.
Alrighty. So we'd actually already planned to build a Minecraft world before the world came down. It was part of our science curriculum. So they had investigated an endangered animal each, and the plan was to build a zoo and each person put their endangered animal in. So I thought, rather than me just talking and having to look at my face, I would share as I talk. I'll go around the world with you and show you the world. So let me just see if I can press the right button here. Oops. Alrighty, I'm not sure if you can see the world now.
Yes, we're seeing the Minecraft world. I am.
So we had some kids that are pretty advanced Minecraft users, and they built their animal pretty quickly and then have looked for other things to entertain themselves. So they've built the extras that all zoos have. We've got a little flight you can take on a plane that goes over the top. One thing I did discover, and I sort of made these little squares for them to build their habitat in, but they've decided to build the biggest animals they could possibly create, which was a bit interesting, but that's all right. They all did that. So we've got a giant koala here, and you can teleport from the bottom to the top. So depending on how good the kids are is what they've done with them. That's a pangolin with its enclosure. We've got a giant great white, polar bears, all sorts of bits and pieces going on. And I did ask them to, give some information about their animal, just to put a sign, but that was far too boring. So what they've done is they've started building little hollows through their animal that they've put their information in. So they've taken the brief, I guess, and they've really been imaginative with it. So I think that's a lesson I've learned, was that give them the outline and tell them what you want, but then let them have a crack at it, and they'll do amazing things. This here is one of our girls got a bit confused and she thought she had to build a better bedroom in the zoo. So she started to build that, but someone has taken over that and turned it into a gift shop, which all zoos should have. We've got eagles flying, all sorts of things. We've got a very wet eagle over here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Mazes, all sorts of things happening. So they've had a really good time. They did do most of this over the remote learning part, and they're just sort of finishing it off now. What am I doing? I can't talk and work at the same time. Trying to cancel this off. So it was really good. So I guess what I've learnt was that to let the kids run with what they want to do, let their imaginations take flight, and they'll really they'll take it amazing places. They know far more than I do anyway. Still haven't really got into the coding part of it. I've made one of the year 6 kids is an operator, so he basically runs the show. He cracks the whip and makes it stop raining and all the sorts of things that the kids want. So and he's far better at controlling the behaviours. Not that there's a big issue there, but if anyone's destroying something, he'll quickly jump on them and tick them off and fix it. So I basically set up the world, give them a join code, and away they go with it. So it's been really good. The year 3-4 class, they started doing, we were just doing algorithms in the digital tech class just on a grid paper. And I hadn't even thought about doing anything Minecrafty with it. And one of the kids said, oh, can we build our mazes in Minecraft? And I went, yeah, great idea. So they started doing that. And originally, then they realised pretty quickly that was actually a lot harder than they thought it would be. But they're persevering, and it's really good to get them to try and figure out how to get from paper to actual maze on the real screen. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think what else. Haven't really, yeah, as I said, done much coding. It's something I need to learn about. So that'll be probably the project for next year and next term. The plan for the zoo was to invite parents in and they could go for a tour of the zoo. So that might have to go on the back burner for a little while. But apart from that, kids had a great time. They logged into it pretty much every afternoon during remote learning, which was a really great way for them to chat with each other. And I was always there and they were quite happy to join me in the chat and carry on. So I think it was a good way for them to keep in touch with each other over remote learning too, in a very casual sort of way while they were doing stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
I want to ask you, Julie, how were the social norms amongst the kids when they were joining these sessions?
No, really good. They didn't have any voice, so they were all typing. So it was quite interesting because we've got some pretty atrocious spellers in there, and the other kids are pretty brutal. That's not how you spell whatever it is. So they were not much better themselves in some cases, but apart from that, they were very polite. They were very conscious of not interfering and trespassing on other people's plots unless they were invited in, and they were always invited in. Come and have a look what I've done, or you know, can I come and see what you've done, and all those sorts of things. And they were always very happy to show each other's work to each other, to help if they needed help. There's some experts in there that were always, they finished their animal. Oh, can I help you? Do you need any help? What can I do to help you? So really, really fantastic.
Yeah, Minecraft and virtual worlds, it engenders a spirit of generosity, I think, amongst kids, which is great. One other thing you mentioned that I love, when I worked on the Massively Minecraft server was an out-of-school server, and we had a whole series of challenges for kids. And when you leveled up, guess what the reward was? It was responsibility, and kids really loved it, you know, like being able to become like your server master, or you know, the person who's the facilitator for a challenge or something like that. So giving kids those leadership roles in the space is really a great way to let kids experience that sort of thing.
Yeah, which is why giving that kid the operator status is, you know, and he takes it very seriously. And although he has teleported me to random places from time to time, just because he can.
Well, you go to the teacher just because you can.
Absolutely, yeah. But he always brings me back, so it's all good.
So no, that giving kids responsibility in the space is beautiful. I really love that. And it sounds like you've done a lot. I posted the third homework challenge is the hour of code lesson. And that's a really good one to go through yourself and play, or get some kids to play and see if they think it's valuable. So even that could be a responsibility to say to some kids, I'd love you to play through this and tell me if it'd be good for the class, you know. So that's there to do. But it sounds like you've got heaps going, and I'm so glad someone got some really successful things happening over the remote period, because it was testy. There were a lot of issues. I know you had issues where some kids could get in and they couldn't the next time, and so, but we think we've got some solutions for that. So,
hopefully it won't ever be remote again. But anyway.
But thank you so much.
No worries.
Bravo. Who am I up to? Is Matthew or Arden with us? I know Matthew is going to try and come back.
Hi, Bron. Yes.
Yes, yay!
I didn't actually make it on. I'm between interviews at the moment, so I've got a sneaky 5 that I can go for before my next one. So
great, we'll grab the sneaky 5.
So I am in grade 3. So here at Aspendale, that's the first year level up till now that we have introduced Minecraft to the kids. So we've been very much in the introductory phase of that, which has been really enjoyable actually. Over the remote learning, we did a literacy piece to do with myths and legends. And so we did Theseus and the Minotaur, which is the maze task. So there were 4 tasks over the week to do, and writing a procedural text on how to escape a maze and all that sort of stuff. And it built up. And then the maths task with that was to design a maze. And then off the back of that, their final task was to recreate their maze in a mode of their choice. Some kids made it out of Lego. Some kids did it in Maker's Empire, the 3D coding app. Some kids made it out of cardboard and toilet rolls. And I did give the option for kids to ask me for their Minecraft login details and to have a crack at that if they want to. So that got a few kids inspired and taking it on, which in turn then got me fired up. So I then made my own maze, which I've had the chance to throw the kids into. So for the moment, as a shared world, that's sort of the one we've used. So I put them into the maze, and there's a couple of NPC characters in there that I had to work out how to code them up so they give directions and offer assistance, as some of the characters did in the myth. So they've really enjoyed that actually. But now that we're back at school, actually today, I had the chance to work with all 4 of our grades and to get everyone logged in. So with the holidays coming up, the hope is to get everyone a little bit of a chance to have a look around and to upskill a little bit by choice. And then next term, we'll do some more structured lessons and things like that to give the kids a chance to take it on. So originally we were going to have we had some big goals about setting up our local community and doing our businesses and where they wanted to build and things like that. But we took your advice about make sure your first project is one that doesn't really matter, because it's going to be a trial. So we've taken that on board and slowed it down a bit. Whereas I know Arden, who's in grade 4, where the kids have tried it a little bit more, he's been very active in that space. And during remote learning, he's had his own sort of Minecraft show that for a lot of the kids was actually the reason they logged in every day. So he did a wonderful job up there, leading that and challenging them and making them have a purpose to what they were doing in that space. So look, moving forward, we're hoping to roll it out a bit wider across the school. And we've already got our STEM team having a chat about running some lunchtime challenges and clubs and things like that to keep it in the space, and also getting some other teachers just to be supervising so they can see what the kids are creating and for us to be able to share it. And we might even use the video platform that we've used in remote learning across the school, so the teachers don't even need to leave their room. We'll actually be on their screen with the remote learning camera mode, the WebEx that we've used, and we can actually help them as an expert without needing to actually blend our grades or anything like that. So we're positive and we're hopeful of it becoming a bigger and bigger thing as we get better at the skills. But I heard someone mention it before. I've also relied on my son to be my living expert. He was certainly the devious one when I was making my map. I could do the walls and the roof all right, but he was the one who started putting in lava pits and and traps and monsters and various things that were spawning out of corners and things like that. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, see, children have got to be of some use, haven't they? Back to their parents. That, great value. I love the offering of Minecraft as an alternative. So Lego, building it in resort, recrafting materials and whatever else. And that's really a great way for kids to see across different media as well, from the digital to the hands-on, and to work with their preference. So that's really lovely to work on. And I know Arden spoke a little bit in a previous meeting, it was also recorded, about some of the work he'd done in setting challenges and looking at how the kids accomplished those. But again, great work bubbling it along, and it sounds like they've had a lot of fun. And I think choosing something that was low stakes is a great way to go for that first thing, to just break the ice. And as a number of teachers have said, find out which kids don't have any experience in this space, because there will be a few. Find out who your experts are. Find out who you can rely on to assist other people, and just break the ice. Also, your idea of having a club or something or a challenge across the school, so that teachers can have eyes on the fun that's going on and the actual curriculum work that's going on, and maybe want to buy into that when they see that, is a great thing to do.
Yeah, and that's the plan too. And like we're even saying that perhaps some of the clubs would be a rookie level club, for want of a better word, to try and have that less intense experience for those kids who are a bit nervous about their skills, and to give them simple challenges, you know, to build a house, to build a room that's so big, to mine, whatever it might be, that isn't going to be inspiring those kids who have better skills. So they're not going to be there showing off. They'll have a later challenge that might be an expert level, club or whatever it happens to be. So you can also break up how many kids are in each club. So, no, we're really enjoying this process, but I do need to sign off because I've just seen I've got my next one signing into my WebEx, but I might come back in 10 if I can make it, but we'll see how we go.
Okie doke.
Thanks, Bron. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I was going to add on the tail end of that. I'll let you get away, but there's also the possibility to run a little esports challenge. So like a lunchtime challenge where kids form a team in Minecraft, and you give them the challenge at the start of lunch, and then you look at what they've accomplished by the end of lunch and have a winner out of who's designed the better, whatever it is. And those sorts of things, if you run it in the school hall or somewhere, it's a really fun thing to do because people can root for the team they want to support, and, make it like a real sporting challenge. So esports is a really fun thing with Minecraft, and there's a lot of that starting to happen across the world at the moment. Not in killing things or fighting, but in designing and problem solving, which I think is really exciting. Yeah, great wet day activity, Julie. Absolutely something you could do in a lunchtime on a wet day. Throw down a challenge. You've got, 40 minutes. The team has to solve this problem. Let's look at where you're at in 40 minutes and everyone vote on the winner. And it's a really cool thing to do. So I just wanted to throw that out. Is there anyone who's on the call that I've missed being able to give their update? I just need to check that I'm not leaving anyone out because we're down to a few people left. But I did want to throw in an update from a couple of people who have been in our sessions but aren't online at the moment. And that was Taylor, who has been with us, but she's got meetings this afternoon, and she's posted in our lesson planning space a piece of work that one of her students did, which is a replica of the Glenrowan Inn, where Ned Kelly had his last stand. And so she's offered that student world for us to have a look at and give feedback. So that's really cool. I really love this. I've had a quick look, and I'll certainly try and do more with it, but she's put it up there for us to share, to take a look at. Nathan's added his projects, and as have Adrian. And Michael has added his documentation on the work with narrative settings. So there's a lot of stuff starting to build in that lesson planning space now of our shared summary of what we've been doing. And that really excites me to see how far people have come. And I know Lenny sent me an email apologising that he couldn't, from Ivanhoe, that he couldn't make the session today, and I'll just have to check. He sent me an update in email, so I just need to check that I've got that so I can feed it into our meeting. Are there any questions at the moment? Or Lauren, would you like to have a say about anything you've seen today?
Yeah, I think everything's been really good. I'm just so amazed by everyone's different takes on using Minecraft, and the fact that it's been used in the remote learning situation. I think it's amazing. So yeah, I'm just sitting here and I'm in awe of all the different ideas, and I'm scribbling down lots of notes. But yeah, I thought it was really good, and it's really good to bring everyone together and share ideas. And I hope that in term 3 we can continue to keep our community going and benefit from each other. Yeah.
So what do you see, while I'm still looking for this, what do you see as the next steps for this project, as you see it at the moment? I know it's not firmed up or anything, but just so people can know for their planning for term 3.
Well, I think originally the project was supposed to last until term 2, and then COVID hit and everything just didn't work out. But I think at the moment my vision would be that we continue this community online, and we keep that sort of all that communication up in that team space, and people can dip in and out how they wish. But it would be good to put that question out to everyone in the team as well, just to see where everyone else is at. And not everyone's here at the moment, so maybe something to discuss after the school holidays.
Yeah, we might want to survey everyone and see, where it is they're heading. Just trying to find Lenny's update. I know he sent me an email, and I just can't find it in my email at the moment. Apologies for that. I think I was going to say where to from here, but it sounds like everybody's already got their where to from here pretty much thought out, which is fantastic. And I'm blown away. Everyone said to me, oh, we haven't done very much, so we don't really have a lot to report on. And we've seen quite the opposite here today, that people have had quite a lot to report on and have done quite a lot, not even realising, as I said at the beginning, we're exactly 4 months since we started this project. So, that's an enormous amount to have covered in 4 months. I'm still trying to find where Lenny messaged me with the update. I might just put it on the Facebook space. Apologies, Lenny, if I've missed out on feeding in your update. But I'll add it in, and you did have other meetings that you needed to be at today, so we totally understand. But I'll put it into the team space instead, rather than holding people up while I hunt around in my emails. So apologies for my ineptitude on that. But thank you, everyone. And I know we're down to 6, but we had a nice, healthy-sized group today. And thank you to those of you who stayed. Lots of people had to get out of school because it was closing down, or, as we heard, parent-teacher meetings or school team meetings and whatever else. So squeezing this in we're very grateful to all of you. So
can I just say, Bron, thank you so much for leading the team. It's been really, really good. I know the start of the year, you had a certain expectation of what this year would look like, but we've all had to go with the roll with the punches. I just had a question. If because Joel and I intend to pick it up again, we have to do more of a coding using a different platform next term, and we want to pick it up in term 4 again. If we do, just talking about keeping this team alive, would you be up to sort of, if we can bounce a few things off you, Bron, or any of the other experts, later in the year?
Absolutely. I'll stay in touch with the community for as long as people want to talk to me.
Awesome.
And I know we're working on getting Lynn Telfer in and some of our other experts in to help. So this community space is going to flesh out further. You guys will become the mentors to the next wave of teachers, perhaps, if that's a role you feel comfortable with. But certainly there'll be more room for conversation and sharing. So absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, that's cool.
I'm happy, and I love hearing everyone's stories. I'm hoping in term 3, if things permit, to come and visit schools and have a look at what the kids are doing, term 3 or term 4, and to create some case stories of the journey the teachers have had, or the journey the kids have had in, learning to incorporate Minecraft into learning.
Because we would have wanted some guidance on the rubrics. So we had intentions of really fine-tuning our planner and all that sort of stuff, but it was what it was and what we planned prior to all the COVID stuff. So, hopefully next time we can build on some of the things and develop our skills a bit further. So, sounds good. Thanks, Bron.
my pleasure. It's been very exciting. I love working with very professional teachers, and it's a really lovely group of very professional educators. So what's not to like?
Professionals that play games.
Professionals that play games, that's right. And I do have to say, just for the sake of the recording, happy holidays, everyone. And I hope you do get to have a real holiday this time round, because last holiday was preparing for online, and it was a very big period of changing over and innovation. And so maybe this holiday will be a real holiday, even though our Premier has said in New South Wales, you're not allowed to come to us. We don't want those Victorians. She's being a meanie.
Let's hope not. We're hoping to come up to Sydney for a holiday.
Oh, yeah, sneak in.
Miss the band.
Well, thanks, everybody. Lauren, if I can talk to you for a minute when we finish, just to catch up for a sec. But thank you, David and Julie and Anastasia, who are still left. Brilliant to have you here, and great to hear what everybody was up to.
Thank you.
And David. So bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.